Hey, what's going on? Just want to do a little key tip and make sure how you want to get your smoker going really well so it doesn't go out on you. Start with a small base with some dry leaves and then add a little sticks in there to make sure you get a really good ember and base going, and then you can pile it up. Otherwise, it's going to go out and if you set it down for a few minutes. So this way, it will just keep going and going. And even if you run out of fuel, it can keep throwing more on there. And it'll just be good. It won't go out and you won't be frustrated. Enjoy. Hive number one, with a little smoke in the front. I can see the bees are still bringing in something, either water or nectar. There's a little bit of pollen coming in as well. So they got some resources still going on in this hive. Let's see if this honey crop on top is full. There's a queen excluder here, so I'm hoping that they got some sweet nectar. How's the bee activity here? So light on bee activity, but let's pop this cover and see what's doing what. How aggressive they are, if they're a hot hive.
Notice how Buzzbee is using his tool and smoker to pry open the top part of the hive.
Yep, it's going to be propolized down for a while. That's what the bees do. They love to seal everything, make sure they get everything airtight so they can control all the airflow in the hive. They don't really like any excess vents. Okay, so let's take a quick peek here. Looks like this one's not doing too much up here. Just this is all pretty empty. Does not really necessary. Like I said, I was on vacation for a while and I wanted to make sure they had a little excess room just in case. So I threw this on top on this one. Let's pry this real quick just to see what's below. Probably get a little smoke in there. Another layer. Okay. Here we are. Next layer. I just want to do a quick peek below. Sorry if I'm a little left. Quick peek below here and see what is going on. I probably don't even need that. Again, not too much. So this really wasn't needed. I'm gonna leave it on.
Nice queen excluder you have there, by the way.
Yeah, that's a queen excluder to make sure. So they are filling these up with honey. There's 3. So there's a Debbie here. So unfortunately, this bee got crushed here. That's not good because he might set out a pheromone that we don't want. So we will get him away from us.
He might have survived.
Yeah.
He's halfway dead.
Could have been smushed. All right, so I can see these are being filled with honey. This frame, and this frame. These are starting to still be filled, and these aren't even built out yet. That one's not built out yet. They're not doing anything with that. So this one really is not even needed, and it's actually going to probably make it more difficult for them to
Buzzbee, you want to tilt this up so we can really get a look at the bottom?
Yeah, this one has nothing going on here. There's a couple of bees just kind of hanging out on it, just like randomly, just kind of messing around. They're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
So,
European style of looking into the hives here.
So I'm just going to take this off now because it doesn't look like they're filling it up, and it's just more area for them to protect that they can't really do as efficiently with this on here. And it's hard for them to control the airflow if they're not full of bees. So it doesn't look like this is needed. Like I said, we're going into a dearth, which means there's a much lower amount of pollen and nectar, so not needed. They have their heads in the cells, they're using the frames. If they're just walking on them, kind of checking them out, they're just kind of inspecting the area. They're just kind of wandering around. Like these are in the corner, really aren't doing anything. But you can, if you look down in these things, you actually see bees sticking their heads and cells like for a while doing something. So they're either building up the wax. If they're shaking their heads back and forth like this, they're building up wax. But if they're just putting their heads in and going like this, like drinking like kind of like a cat or a dog, you know that they are actually filling it with nectar or resources, pollen, whatever. So that's the difference there. And this is the 2 brood boxes, which will include some honey, nectar, and everything like that. So that's for them. So like I said, I split the hives a lot this year, so I wasn't expecting to get a lot of the honey crop for myself. I just left these on in case while I was gone so they wouldn't swarm, because I did find swarm cells. I think it was in this one right here, and so I took those out. So hopefully there's a queen in that one. All right, so you have a little twist. That's a little thing here. Instead of pulling straight up, twist, so it doesn't rip everything apart. Helps break it apart. So you'll see they're I don't know if you can see through there. But
Sure
you'll
we
see
can,
them,
Busby.
sticking their heads in the cells,
Which means they're
filling or doing some
honey.
activity.
They're capping
in that.
combs. I can see it from here. That's honeycomb.
Yep. So if you
I
look
can
down
see there's that's honey.
Yeah.
Is it heavy?
Not really. It just started. So if you look down here, so I got a couple of bees buzzing around. That means that there's some. You should try to use a little smoke here.
It doesn't look like brood or pollen. It looks
Nope,
like
that's
it's
all
honey.
So if you look down here, you'll see honey. So
Sure.
they fill it out. That's all honey right there. This cell, that cell. They're trying to stack it in the middle. It looks like they're filling out this whole row is all honey. This whole box. So I'm gonna leave that to themselves. You want to try to pull that up? Here,
As you can see, these are heavy.
that one's heavy. That one's gonna be at least 50 to 80 pounds.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got a bee buzzing at me here. We'll leave this one alone. This one they're gonna start filling a little bit. Maybe I'll get a little bit later. I'll pull it off here, but this one's
Yeah.
doing good.
What are these weighing, Busby? Ideally,
When they're full, they weigh like 50 to 80 pounds.
What is
deep,
this
a
top-
Deep, that's like a deep. Well, I'm not sure.
the head.
That's
The
like a
lower
medium.
you go, the more honey production, the heavier they
That's
are.
actually medium. I don't know how much a deep weighs. Maybe it is a deep. I have to check. I don't really have to weigh this out.
Gotcha.
But
So the deeps
they get
way
pretty heavy.
heavier because they're filler with honey. The
Yeah,
medium
they're
and
bigger. These are like 9
right.
inches. I think these are like 6.5. These are like 9.5 or something like that. Close to it, like 9.75. I have to look at the exact. Imagine my entrance facing the other way, and the bees will try to chew an entrance out in the opposite direction in the warmer side of the hive. And then they use resources to do that. So you don't want to do that. So help them out. So to pop the cover off here, a little aggressive there. You always want to try to do a little without being shocking the hive because they sense vibration in here. All right, so this no activity up top. I'm not sure. Oh, this is a brand new hive basically. So let's just take this off. There's really nothing going on here. This is the one I had to get clean. So let's see if there's anything. Really clean out. Just there we go. Okay. We have honey on that frame. Must have maybe ran out of room over there. Check it out. So you want to make sure when you move the hives, the things together like this, you want to go slow because the bee could be in between things and getting smushy. You want to always go slow, especially even when you move across the hive. You don't want to get anybody's attention. So you'll see if the bees are attention. If you look up through here, that's a male right there. Right, see this big bee? I don't know if you saw him, but walked by. But he's got big eyes. You can tell the male because they have twice this size eyes, twice as big, twice as many lenses actually. So, at least. Okay, so. Those are male. So if you just see male eggs, that could mean there's a working laying queen. A laying worker. That means that if there is, in the absence of a queen, one of the bees will have enough, can produce unfertilized eggs. Which will only be males. So.
Busby Entertainment.
Okay, hive number 2, much more activity as you can see. I think we're gonna have better luck with this one. Their bees are flying in and we're gonna give them a little smoke, get this going. So
Let's rip open some hives, Busby. Let's get dirty.
nice big rock on top. We're gonna take this
That's
off.
good. So you put
We're
that
gonna see
there
what's going
to what do you put that rock there for there,
In case we
Busby?
get any good gust or there's some animals or whatever is gonna maybe tip this over. It might help a little bit.
Yeah, because you had a bear one time, right?
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't stop a bear, but it might for maybe a second or
That's
so.
Busby. What's
Okay.
this flow about?
This is a good activity.
That's a good activity.
So we'll see if they're filling any of these hives up. I have 2 supers on here. So for some reason, I was on vacation. So I think for some reason I thought this may needed extra space. So we're going to see what's going on here. Hopefully we got a little honey in here. Let's check it out. You guys how close in action? I can hear them buzzing a little bit. Hear this one or this one? There we go. Give them a little more. So that's not good signs. Usually it means they're pissed off or there's no queen. So maybe a little more smoke. I think we're good. So not a ton of activity. Let's just pull this next layer off. Like I said, this one, these all have queen excluders on here because I was hoping it maybe get a little bit of honey. So it says try off underneath. Excluder. You can get plastic ones, you can get metal ones. I have both. They both work. These lie a little flatter, I guess. Metal ones.
Twist and pull. Oh, you got a frame, huh? You locked. You got it. It fell down.
I say you pull out the frame just like that, and that's what happens. So you can kill your.
Let's look at the bottom on that. Busby.
So, do you see any bees sticking their heads in the cells, or are they just running around? Ah, they are sticking their heads in.
Yeah, there's activity.
All right,
They're
so
busy.
actually they filled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames of honey here. So I'll leave this on just in case, so they don't feel claustrophobic.
Is there a queen in here?
Most likely, if the hive's in there, well. All the hives were queened right, is what they call it.
Yes.
Queen.
Queen right. With a
Again,
queen.
you can put the same technique when you put the cover on, so you don't kill bees. So sometimes you just try to put it all square down, you'll bigger surface area. You might have a greater tendency to kill the bees. Let's put it back. Again, closing the top of the hive. These in the normal lives don't have a top entrance, and they like to control the airflow easily for themselves without any space. So they'll try to seal things up, or they'll put bees in that entrance to clog the hole. So okay, for the top cover rock. Do I have a rock for this one? Must have been. Maybe one of these. Yeah. Moving on. Check this real quick. You always want to be careful. So I'm about halfway. You can see. I still am okay. Okay. Like I said, you got the green on top, so it really make sure that the flame goes really low. Wouldn't get too hot. It's kind of like a backup. So not too bad. All right. This was a small hive. First and put this on here as we run out. There's a little bit left. So hopefully.
Cut.
Too much up here, they're just sitting around. I don't really know what they're doing. They're just newbies. Call them first bees. I don't think they're. Ooh. Nope! I think he just landed on me. It scared me. I think he just flew off and landed on me. He didn't really mean to bite, but it did go on my hand, and I'm not wearing any glove protection, so. Trying not to take any stings. I got a wedding ring on, so if I got stung, I would have to take it off right away. So, big precaution. Make sure you take your rings off. If you have any swelling, whatever, take them off right away.
Maybe even have an EpiPen nearby. If you every year.
I mean, everyone gonna have some reaction, no matter what. You want, even a beekeeper, you definitely want to get stung every once in a while, because just being around the venom on your suit and stuff like that, you could develop a greater effect. So it's always good to actually get stung every once in a while.
Cut. Action.
Okay. Bees with their heads in the cells here, so I'm guessing everything's looking okay down here. There's a dead bee here. I don't know how old it is. Let's get it out of there. You see that stuff squirting out of his butt? It's probably poison. That is the pheromone, alarm pheromone. Alright, so bees sticking their heads in. Boom, boom. Smoke. Let's just see if they've done anything here. This one has. For some reason, I think they were laying in this super here, so they have 2 broods and a super as a brood. So a little bit different than all the other hives that just have the 2 deeps. This one has 2 deeps and a medium as the brood area. So let's see if they actually are using that middle box. I can't remember. I think that was empty. This is pretty tightly glued down.
A lot of propolis.
This is a plastic excluder on this one.
Opposed to metal.
Okay, let's do the old Swiss. So you can see how all these were attached right here. If I didn't do that, they would literally lift these all out in a big mess, or you tip the hive over. So twist and pull just a little bit, get it off to break the seal. So these are, as you can see, they're filling these with honey all throughout here. So just gonna quickly, this is pretty, yeah, this 199 might get some honey on. I'm gonna assume that they're using some of that for brood. I could break it apart, but I know I put that on there because I didn't just want them to be a deep and a medium. I wanted to see if they could hopefully move down on their own. Maybe let's check that real quick. Let's find a corner that likes to pry it. Sometimes if one corner doesn't work, try another. So when you do this, also kind of pull on one of the handles. It's kind of like Jenga. You have to figure out which corner is going to be loose, you know. That's what, really make sure you get your tool loosened that way. This side is really proper. Some this side just do that. Bring more proper. Let's do things down more. Just really move down. Come on. Come on. I'm gonna get this one apart. Oh, I hear it. It's going. Got it. It's tough. Oh, it's 'cause this is heavy too. This is full of honey.
This might be your best hive.
Okay.
Oh, watch out. Okay.
What do we got going on here? I don't want to go too crazy. This one, I don't disturb it too much, so. All right. Do a little twist. I always twist the bottom one so you don't twist it up and off. Let's check real quick. All right, they're bailing out. They're doing shit, but this one's doing really good. Yeah, this is like almost 3 hives depth deep to it. And they have a lot of their own honey themselves. They're gonna decide it's gonna definitely do well. They might have a high mite population. I think remember there was one hive that had a lot of mites, like live mites running on the bottom. So I have a mite testing kit. I need to use that for the first time. I'm just afraid to do it because you have to kill 300 bees to do it, and that's not something you want to do. And also, don't forget to look.
What about the alcohol test?
That's the alcohol test. You basically put 300 bees, which is like a cup's worth of bees. You got to shake off fresh nurse bees that are on the brood frames. That's where the mites would be, not on the older bees. So you want to go where make sure you don't shake the queen off as well. So you're going to find her, make sure she's not on those frames. And then you put those in a cup and put alcohol. And kill all the bees and just shake. See how many mites fall off. And if there's more than 3, you need to do some testing.
How do you want to close out this video, Busby?
Just keep an eye on your bees every 7 to 14 days or something like that, so you know what's going on. And kind of read them, check out what's good. Just keep on these, make sure they're happy, make sure they got water, it's hot out. There's you can check your zones online and see where the nectar flow is and the pollen flow is, so you can get an idea when there's typically a dearth, and just be ahead of the game.
Cool. Thanks, Busby.
Keep healthy bees. Good luck.